Hi everyone, and welcome along to today's video. Now I've had a lady on to me today with a mail saying that she's got a hall radiator and it's piping hot the whole time, and she hasn't got a radiator valve that you can turn on it, just two white cap things, but there's no way of turning this radiator off. And she says that thing is robbing all my heat. I don't want that hall radiator on, it serves no purpose. Unfortunately, it couldn't be further from the truth, so let me explain about the bypass radiator. Now, this radiator is installed deliberately with no valves that you can turn, so it is always on as a twofold thing. Firstly, it protects the pump from overburning out if all your thermostatic rad valves were shut down altogether, and that also had a thermostatic rad valve on it and shut down as well. You could burn the pump out. Now that's not so common these days because a lot of combi boilers, if you've got them, have got a bypass loop built into them. So then you say, well, why do I still need a bypass radiator? And that is because a lot of the manufacturers of these boilers state that they still would like a bypass radiator. A lot of these new boilers are low content water and they need to get the heat away from the boiler once it's turned off. You've probably often heard your combi sounds like it's still running sometimes when it goes off, and that's because it's pumping heat away from the boiler around the bypass radiator in your system, just to kind of cool down, get it right out. And this is kind of the purpose of it. But also, it does have another purpose. If you have your room thermostat is in the hall, which they quite often are, with the bypass rad, then the radiator does something else as well. It tells your house, all the rest of the system that is, what temperature to set. So if you set 21 in the hall, and the bypass rad will stay on and will keep going, and the thermostat will keep to the heat that has been set at. Now I hear what you're saying, that this radiator is still robbing the heat. Is there anything I can do about it even though I've got to have it? Well, we can adjust it down a bit. Probably both of those lock shield valves that you can't turn are probably flat out, full on. But what we can do is just turn one of them down, it doesn't matter which end, and shut it down a bit and just open it back sort of like a turn. I'll show you what I mean on my rad in the bathroom, and that way at least it's not taking quite so much heat from the other radiators, and also it would be a little bit cooler but still acting as a bypass radiator. It will still get hot, it's got to, but not maybe as hot as before, and we can finally adjust it, as I say, to about a turn on. I'll show you what I mean on this radiator valve of mine up in the bathroom. We go there now. Okay, so we're going to say this is our bypass radiator. This is what you normally see, isn't it? That on there like so. Some of the lock shield valves will have a screw that you have to take out first before you can remove the cap. If that's the case, get that out first, but once you've done that, it just pull off like that. That's all it is just a cap. Now this is probably flat out. It's a pair of pliers or a little small spanner, and we're just going to turn it all the way off clockwise like so. Keep going, it will probably full on, so we've got a way to go. It's very unlikely it's already been squeezed down. But, so we're going to squeeze it till it stops. Keep turning. See how many turns there are there. Keep going. That's fully off. Now I'm going to switch it on a full turn, but that's all. So round, that's half a turn, and one full. Okay, now you can experiment with this and turn it back to just half a turn. As long as it's still getting hot, it's still acting as a bypass, but you don't have to have it quite as hot maybe as it was before, stealing all your heat. So give that a try, let your heating run that evening, and then just check, and then just check the temperature. You may be able to turn it down further still, but not off. It's got to be on to act as that bypass radiator. Now I then hope that explains about the bypass rad, so you can crank it down so it doesn't get quite as much heat but still open enough to act as that bypass radiator that you need in today's modern central heating systems. I hope that answers a question for you anyway, and catch you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.